If you guys haven't heard yet, it's Kirby's 25th anniversary. That's right, Kirby's been around for 25 years, and over those many years, he's made many appearances, and his design truly has evolved over time. So when news broke that Sanei, a company known for making high-quality Kirby plushes, would be producing plushes for not only the 25th anniversary, but plushes that pay tribute to Kirby's previous designs, many fans, myself included, became incredibly excited. These plushes were touted to be large, high-quality plushes, styled after previous designs of Kirby. We have a Kirby styled after his appearance in Kirby's Dreamland, and one based off of Kirby and Kirby Super Star. The plushes went up for pre-order and I immediately ordered them, and shortly after Kirby's actual anniversary date, the plushes arrived. The two plushes appear to retail for different prices. According to Sanei's website, the Dreamland Kirby retails for 3,600 yen, while the Superstar Kirby retails for 3,200 yen. I got my set off of PlayAsia, who had them for 31.99 and 28.99 respectively. That may seem like a lot, but trust me, it's well worth it. Let's take a look at them and see just how well they pay tribute to Kirby's 25-year run. Before we get into the plushes themselves, let's talk about what these guys come in. If you buy these guys new, they'll come in these. I know, bags. So what? Every plush comes in bags, but this time it's important. I suppose Sanei knew just how special these plushes were, so they went the extra mile and designed special 25th anniversary bags for them to come in. Actually, there's probably a reason for this. See, these plushes don't come with paper tags, as your average plush tends to. Instead, the plushes have pouches attached to them. More on those later. Them being included here most likely made including a tag on them difficult, so instead in stores they come in these bags. The bags are simple Ziploc bags. However, they do have large text reading Kirby 25th anniversary, along with copyright information for Nintendo and HAL Laboratory. The bags also have stickers at the top right corner. The front sticker has a green striped background, with the Kirby 25th anniversary logo on top of it, along with the same Kirby 25th anniversary text used on the bags themselves. The sticker on the back of the bags are much less appealing, but this is where what would have been on a tag is located. Just some legal information, and there's the Sanei logo, basic stuff. The stickers and the entire bag are the same for both plushes except for one small detail. The copyright date for the two plushes are represented by the 2 years the games they originate from came out in, 1992 for Kirby's Dreamland, and 1995 for Kirby Super Star. I know this is legal stuff and I'm pretty sure they had to include this, but I still think it's really cool. Anyway, there's only so much you can say about a bag, even one as cool as this. So let's get it opened. Well, there is one thing preventing us from just ripping the bags open, and that's this plastic barb hook right here. It's looped around the handle of the bag, preventing the bag from opening without you cutting it off. Makes sense, given how in stores these are for sale in the bags, so they needed something there to protect them from, you know, people opening the bags and stealing them. But as someone who tries to keep their plushes in as best condition as possible, I suppose a part of me wants to keep that attached to keep it super mint. Who am I kidding? Let's open it. You just cut the hook and then you have access to the plushes inside. Alright, enough about the backstory to these plushes. Let's actually take a look at them, starting with Mr. Popopo himself, Dreamland Kirby. Now, out of the two plushes, this is the one that got me and a majority of people the most excited, because while the Superstar Kirby is still very cool, this Kirby looks much different than the one we know today. This Kirby is styled after his appearance in the first game of the series, Kirby's Dreamland or Kirby of the Stars as is known in Japan. You may be thinking, hey wait, shouldn't Kirby be white here? Well, that was only a thing on the international box art for the game as well as this advertisement. Yeah, that one. But those of you wanting a Kirby plush more faithful to the American design, and yes, I'm included in that, are in luck. This Sanei set isn't the only Kirby plush set coming out for his 25th anniversary. So far, 3 sets have been confirmed. We have this Sanei set, a set made by Banpresto, and a set made by SK Japan. And yes, in the SK Japan set, there is a, well, black and white Kirby. But it is said to be based off of Dreamland, and while that's probably more based off of the color of the sprite, I suppose it works. Anyway, we're getting off track. The first thing I noticed about this plush, besides how different it looked compared to normal Kirby plushes, was that it is incredibly fuzzy. The whole plush is really soft to the touch, it's really nice. But doesn't that seem like an odd design choice? Kirby didn't show signs of being fuzzy back then, nor did he have beady eyes for that matter. Well, here's where you realize that this set isn't just calling back to previous Kirby designs, but it's also quite possible that these plushes are direct callbacks to previously released Kirby plushes. Take this Kirby's Adventure era keychain of Kirby I have, released by Bandai in 1993. It's fuzzy and it has the beady eyes. I feel that there's a good chance that Sanei knew of these older Kirby plushes and styled the plush after them. As someone who's a huge fan of the history of series merchandise, that makes this plush even cooler to me. The real draw to this plush and what defines it as Dreamland Kirby is its his face. Due to Kirby's simplistic design, Kirby's face is really where a majority of his design changes over time occurred. Kirby's face is very, very small and compact here, which is especially noticeable if you compare it to this current design Kirby plush Sanei previously released. Kirby has small eyes, small black dashes to represent blush marks, and a relatively large mouth with very noticeable dimples. I'd say this face is very art accurate, and you can instantly tell it's classic Kirby. Kirby's eyes are made out of plastic, which do lack shine details. However, if you shine light on them correctly, you can achieve the look they have in the artwork. Kirby also lacks the blue highlights in his eyes he has now, with these being fully black, as he didn't get his blue eyes until later on. The rest of his facial features have some very nice embroidery to them. Besides his face, his body, arms, and feet are basically the same as what they are today. One of his arms is lifted upwards, which gives the plush some more expression. Kirby's feet are decently stuffed, and just like the other Sanei Kirby plushes, these two can stand on their own. That's always a great feature with plushes. As I briefly mentioned before, when you buy these plushes, you don't just get the plush, but a pouch as well. A zipper pouch styled after the Japanese box art of each plush's respective game. It's not only showcasing that game's design of Kirby, which the plush is based off of, but it's also just a really cool extra. Given how this is the artwork from the game's box art, it's very colorful, and in terms of the artwork at least, nothing was lost in the translation of it onto this pouch. It's a pretty small pouch, so you can't fit much into it, but it's still a neat addition, even if just for the fact that it showcases classic artwork. It's attached to Kirby's arm. You could rip it off, but I'm gonna keep it on him. Both the pouch and the plush itself have a pink touch tag attached to them, with a pretty high quality overlay of the Kirby 25th anniversary logo on the front, and a lot of legal information on the back. This plush, as well as the Superstar Kirby, stand at around 8 to 9 inches tall. They're the same size as the medium All-Star Collection Kirby that Sanei has also released. So yes, you can have these 3 generations of Kirby all on scale with each other, which is really cool. And for good measure, here they are compared to the small-sized Kirby. There are really no problems I can find with this plush. It's a perfect representation of Kirby's design back then. I really like how he looks, and Sanei did a great job not only capturing Kirby's older design, but also making it stand out compared to the other Kirby plushes they've made. So let's now move on to the more relatively recent Kirby in this set, the Kirby from Kirby Super Star. Here's the second Kirby in this set, the Kirby based off of his design in Kirby Super Star, or Kirby of the Stars Super Deluxe as it's known in Japan. By the time of Super Star's release, Kirby had already started to look much closer to the design he has now. With that said though, this design was a really good choice to make, as not only is Kirby Super Star a really popular Kirby game, but this specific Kirby design is almost like a midpoint of Kirby's design evolution. As for Kirby's face, his eyes are closer to the modern design, with the blue highlights, however they're much smaller than they are today. His mouth is a nice open mouth, with some really great embroidery there. His blush marks though are the main difference between this and modern Kirby, with them here being 3 red dashes. The use of embroidery here is really well done, and his face looks incredibly clean. The embroidery on just his mouth alone looks so nice. His face might be the best part about this plush. The rest of the plush is much more standard. The plush doesn't have the fuzzy material that Dreamland Kirby used. However, it's also not the super soft material used on the standard Sanei Kirby plushes. So while the plush looks more normal than Dreamland Kirby, in terms of texture at least it's still pretty different than the standard Kirby. This Kirby seems to be much more oval shaped and not as circular shaped compared to the other Kirbys. Judging off of the released images of this plush, it seems like my plush just got less stuffing than it should have, but that's barely an issue and I don't really mind it. Kirby's feet are very large and well patterned, though they are also pretty understuffed, but once again he can still stand on his own. This plush isn't posed like Dreamland Kirby, instead having Kirby in a more natural pose, as seen in the artwork used on the box as can be seen on the pouch that comes with it. To more accurately mimic the Super Famicom box, this pouch is pretty large, much larger than what came with Dreamland Kirby, which was more accurate to the size of a Japanese Game Boy box. The size of the pouch is kind of like a trade-off for the ways that the Superstar Kirby lacks compared to Dreamland Kirby. That Kirby was fuzzy and had plastic eyes, and while Superstar Kirby lacks those, he does come with a really nice and roomy pouch. The pouch looks really nice given the wood finish effect the box art had, though it isn't a one-to-one recreation of the box, as the art and logo were moved around and are now the only things on it. And unlike the Dreamland pouch, the back lacks any extra artwork, but I feel the wood finish does make up for that. Given the size, this would actually work pretty well as a pouch, though again I'm keeping mine attached to Kirby. Here's the touch tag on the Superstar Kirby. The only difference between it and the one on Dreamland Kirby is that this one says the correct year of 1995. With Dreamland Kirby, I noticed how it was similar to plushes released around the time the design was used. But was the same thing done with Superstar Kirby? Well, here's a Kirby that was released in 1995 by Takara for Kirby Superstar. And yep, it once again shares similarities to the 25th anniversary plush, though this this time they're more minor. Both have similar facial expressions with their mouths open, though that may be because that's just what most Kirby art from the time featured, but it is still cool to find parallels between these. This is another great plush. Though it doesn't feel quite as special as Dreamland Kirby given how this design of Kirby is more standard, it's still a really nice plush. I'd say Dreamland Kirby is my favorite of the two, but Superstar Kirby still holds his own and is not only a unique plush, but is another great rendition of the character and is an excellent time capsule of a previous Kirby design. If you were to get either of these, I'd recommend getting Dreamland Kirby as it's the most unique, but I'd say if you can, getting both of them would be for the best as they're both excellent plushes and are really cool renditions of Kirby that we don't see merchandise of often. Kirby is a character with such an incredible history. The series simply deserved something like this. I really hope more companies see this line and realize how great of an idea this is. Looking back at a character's evolution, their legacy, how they changed over time, is one of the most fascinating things you can do with character merchandise. I could totally see a set like this, as well as the other Kirby 25th sets coming out, being made for other characters with rich histories. If any company wants any example of how to handle anniversary merchandise, what Kirby's doing is basically exactly how you should do it. I'd say these plushes are more than well worth it. They're a fantastic celebration of a timeless character, and personally, I haven't gotten this excited about a set of merchandise in a long time. Not only are they exceptional plushes, but they're direct references to older designs. Designs most companies would see as outdated and wouldn't even dare touching. But this is how you do anniversary merchandise. I'd be totally open to the idea of Sanei making more plushes of more designs of Kirby. And hey, they just released the Marks and Magalore plushes. What better time than now to really start making merchandise of those more obscure fan favorite characters? As a longtime Kirby fan, this set just makes me so happy. Kirby is one of my favorite characters and franchises of all time, and to see a plush set be made with such care and respect for the property is just incredible. You can tell here that the designers of these plushes really care about the license they're dealing with, and honestly, this set is one of the coolest plush sets I've seen be released in a long time. Though this won't be the last time we'll be taking a look at Kirby 25th Anniversary merchandise. As soon as I can get the other sets, I'll be reviewing those too. But as of right now, happy 25th Anniversary, Kirby. Thanks for all of the memories. And as new games come out and his design evolves even more, I know I'll be there supporting him all of the way.